Hello, I am Michelle with two L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment. And today we are finally here to talk about the movie that it feels like everyone has been talking about for months, definitely weeks. And that is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Before we get started, if you have not yet subscribed to Force Light Entertainment and you enjoy movie reactions, you enjoy movie reviews, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also give this video a thumbs up and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified every time we release a new review or reaction. Okay, we're going to get into this movie. There's been a lot of controversy around this movie.
There has.
A lot of talk around this movie. But we have finally seen it to give you our thoughts. Of course, a few weeks ago, they said that they weren't going to allow influencers to watch this because, you know,
too risky.
But then all of a sudden we got the people they did let see it. And they all began to act like this was the very best movie, maybe not just of this year. Some of them
maybe of any year.
One of them even tweeted out of all time.
Wow.
But it was praised to the high heavens by the critics that got to see this early. And we're about to get into what we liked, disliked, and rate the movie. But I will tell you, at least my thoughts, Natalie is entitled to hers. My thoughts is the critics are wrong again. It is not even the best movie of 2026 thus far. That is my opinion, but let's go ahead and get into this. We like to be positive. We will start with what we liked about this film. Natalie, what did you like about The Odyssey?
Okay, considering it was 3 hours,
yes,
and it definitely does kind of go back and forth some the time.
Yes,
but
a lot of flashbacks,
and kind of putting the story together. So a lot of that I thought worked, like pacing wise, because for a 3-hour movie, I really didn't get bored too often. There were times it dragged a little, but overall I was pretty interested, I would say. So I'd say that's a positive.
More positives? Well, it's everything you liked about it. I'm giving the floor is yours. Unless you want to think and then you want me to go.
I mean, I think the story generally is somewhat interesting. It is like, as I was watching things from it, I guess like growing up in school, or like certain things like rung a bell, I guess, you know, like, oh, I remember that, or the Cyclops, so it's interesting stuff.
Yes.
So, you know, I think for that, like, that helped keep my interest, just the classic tale and that being portrayed on camera. Yes,
I would say the same. The things that I enjoyed about this film, there were 3 sequences. There's no spoilers here. There were 3 sequences in this film, each, without spoiling what it is, it's each time Homer and his crew will go on land. There were 3 separate encounters they have each time they go on land, and I thought those sequences were really cool. I thought one in particular with a witch was very interesting. But if you know anything about the story, you'll probably know what I'm referring to. So I thought some of those were really cool. The sequences from, you know, the story that is being told, the Odyssey, this trail, this journey that he takes home.
It's quite the journey.
It was definitely quite the journey. They definitely keep running into problems along the way. And some of those sequences were filmed very, very uniquely. And I did appreciate the practical effects that were used for all those sequences. It really helps you to buy into what you're watching. So I really enjoyed that. I would say I enjoyed the ending for the most part. I thought it ended well. I would say the last 30 minutes was good for me. I enjoyed that a decent amount.
Well, I would say a pretty good, like, high moment in there.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah, it ended well, and you want something, especially when you go on a 3-hour journey. You want it to end well, you know. So I do think it ended well. And I definitely enjoyed the last 30 minutes and some of those sequences mixed in. So that would be my positive. So as Natalie said, Homer's story is interesting. So that's the thing. I feel like it's either like people are trying to make this the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. It's neither, I don't think, because Homer's story is interesting. There's definitely elements of this movie that will keep you engaged and that will be interesting to watch on the big screen, as I've already alluded to. So that was good. That's kind of my positives. If you think of anything else, feel free to go back to that. Okay, so let's move into the negatives. And okay, so now Larry mentioned the 3 hours. I did feel the 3 hours. And I feel like you said you like the pacing. I felt the pacing
for the most part. That's what I'm saying. For the most part, I didn't feel the time as much as I thought I might.
That's good. That's good. I, on the other hand, at least my experience with it is it was like, for me, it almost, even at 3 hours, it felt like it moved too fast. There wasn't enough time to let scenes breathe, to really build up emotion with these characters. Because I was rooting for Odysseus to get home. You're very much invested for him to get home, obviously. And if they didn't do that well, then the movie would be terrible. But outside of his character, I didn't care really for anybody. And I feel like that's a problem. I feel like this movie would have ended even better for me. And I feel like they try to have this big emotional moment at the end, and it did not hit me in the feels, because I don't feel that they'd earned it enough by really establishing the characters outside of Matt Damon's character, Odysseus.
Odysseus.
Yeah, there we go.
Excuse me.
Like, say even some of the soldiers, even his right-hand man that's with him throughout most of this movie, without spoiling, let's just say when things happen, I didn't really feel anything towards any of these characters, which I feel is an issue with the movie, because I'm the type person, even if the special effects are great, even if the sequences are action, based and fun, I want to feel an emotional connection. And I guess I got it a little with Matt Damon's character. Again, you are rooting for him to go home, but that was kind of it. And I feel like some of that is because this movie, even at 3 hours, it feels like it's just like the pace is just like you're getting slammed with boom, boom, like this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens.
But you're right. There is a lot to kind of pack in, I think, in that 3 hours.
There's a lot in that 3 hours, almost to where when I left the theater, it was kind of like I felt overwhelmed and like, let me get together my thoughts here.
Almost like, would you have preferred to see a little more of the relational aspects of the story?
Absolutely. Because it's say even like with his right-hand man, it's alluded, this is like his right-hand guy. They're besties probably. And I just didn't feel anything towards other characters. There wasn't.
That could be better. I see what you're saying with that.
I don't know. I that was lacking for me in this film. And that just, good films make you feel things.
Right.
And I just did not feel much watching this movie. I would say another critique that I have is absolutely for me, for others, it won't be a big deal. I feel it was a mistake to let them talk just like you walked into a restaurant in the year 2026. I will say one that stands out, and I like this actor. I like John Berthel. I love him as the Punisher, but you could have literally just put him in the Punisher vest and you would have been like, oh, the Punisher's in the Odyssey. Because it's just John Berthel, like in the Odyssey. Like there's no attempt to
differentiate a unique or craft like a unique character for this character that he is portraying.
Yeah, like I feel like if this is supposed to be this great epic, and this is this very ancient tale, it's just the modern day speaking with just normal American English. It didn't feel epic. It took away for me, because again, it just felt like something you hear, just basic American accents. Like, I'm almost surprised we didn't get a Boston accent thrown in there, a Texan accent, like, in the Odyssey. So I did not particularly like that. I don't think that bothered you quite as much as it did
really
me.
Didn't bother me.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It just didn't make it, because these are supposed to feel epic. They're supposed to feel special. It's supposed to be, a mythological tale from a different day and a different era.
A brother from another mother.
So when they're talking the way we talk, I don't know. I didn't like it. And then say when they throw out, I think 3 different times in this movie, the F word, you're just like, I really don't think they said that back then.
Maybe they had the equivalent.
Maybe.
And that's what they were trying to portray.
But it just felt so modern is what I'm trying to say. And anytime it feels modern, it kind of took me out of the movie because we're supposed to be in ancient Greece. So I did not particularly like that. This is another critique. This is a female critique. Some of you guys probably don't care, whatever. Why do we not like to put makeup on women and on actresses anymore? Like, are we an anti-makeup? Because part of Hollywood is glamour. And
it definitely used to be a big part of it, I think.
And say even it's fine, okay? Say
things are a movie and not being just every
yes, it is a movie, and it is a tale. And okay, so say you want to keep Anne Hathaway's character, you want to keep those type characters realistic, where there's not going to be a lot of makeup, but even back then they found ways to do things.
They're true. There are findings from Egyptian days.
They had makeup back then.
Yeah, lipstick. It's wild.
Yes, but let's go to say Zendaya's character. She plays the goddess Athena. When she comes on camera, I just feel like when she's supposed to be a goddess, let her shine. Let her be different. A glow.
Something ethereal and glowy.
That's like, it's Athena.
Her feminine, godly, what is she? A goddess nature, kind of let that physically shine through somehow.
Yes, I mean, she is literally
in the wardrobe and the makeup department.
She is literally playing a goddess. And it just feels like Zendaya sitting next to Matt Damon. Like, that's how it felt. And I feel like that's a miss, because when the goddess Athena appears, it should feel otherworldly. It should feel special. Let's glam her up a little. Let's make her seem different than the mere humans.
Yeah, right. Because this is a goddess.
It's a goddess.
All. It's not a human. That's true.
And I would even say the same with Charlize Theron's character. I mean, she's just so beautiful. It is what it is. But it's just like they almost wanted even the gods to feel
ordinary,
right? And they're playing Greek gods. Like they shouldn't feel ordinary, and I just feel
they should feel extraordinary.
They should definitely. It just, I feel like that was, these are little things, but they're little things that add up, that take away from an experience of something that's supposed to be this great epic tale,
masterpiece.
Yes, right. And I think all these factors for me greatly took away from me leaving feeling amazed or feeling awe. Another thing, something that catches my attention with movies, I'd say much more so than probably you pay attention, are scores. A great musical score can really elevate a film. I can't remember a single musical note from this movie. The score was so forgettable. It did not elevate. It did not help this movie in any way. And for me, that's a miss. Because
I don't remember the music, so for whatever that says,
that tells me exactly what I think. Thinking of another sword and sandal movie, say like Gladiator. Think of the score in Gladiator. It's so moving, it will bring tears to your eyes. And it's just, this movie did not have a score that moved you in any way. Last critique that I'm going to give. Last one.
Jill's full of these critiques over here.
I have a lot to say. Last critique. I was really looking forward to watching on camera come to life the sirens. All my life, you hear about the siren call and the sirens and their bewitching nature of, men. If they hear them, they gotta
just
go.
So enchanting, physically, and their voices, and
And we get to the siren scene, and you technically see the sirens. But it's kind of
from way.
It's kind of like Marla Hooch. Yeah. What a hitter! Like, you see him from way in the distance, and they make the decision. And maybe they just couldn't come up with something that they thought would be grand enough to be the siren call. But I didn't even get to hear the siren call. And I really wanted to hear, what did they think the siren sounded like? You know, what was the sound that would make men, you know, just lose everything and run to them?
Yeah, he explains it.
He explains it in a movie. Show don't tell is what we say in movies. And I wanted that. I felt cheated with that scene. And I felt like there's so much more that could have been done with that would have been so cool. You know, you even mentioned how they could be beautiful as you approach to them, and then when you get there, maybe they have jagged teeth and
and they transform into these almost like fish mermaid type
like something creepy,
and just rip a man apart.
Yes, like
I mean,
that.
Not that I'd want to see that.
No, but that's like the myth, and that would have been really cool to see on camera, and instead that scene was just kind of like, oh well. There it went.
Came and went.
On to the next scene.
Like the boat through the ocean.
Yeah.
Poseidon's not happy.
Yeah. So that's my what I didn't like. Natalie, what did you not like?
One thing I didn't like, all I'm gonna say is towards the beginning of the movie, there is a little precious.
Oh man, yeah. If you love dogs, beware. Beware.
That is casually tossed over just the side of a mountain because that one.
I guess it was like the runt, maybe. I don't know.
Or just like not that, and it was a little. I know it's like there's like killing and all this stuff, but it was just like, it just felt so wrong. Like what did I just? So that was tough.
Yeah,
I know the puppy's fine and
he's still really alive. Happy. He's still alive. He's doing good.
The tiny puppy.
but it was, yeah. You just watch a puppy go just throwing over the thing, and you're like, oh, did I just watch a puppy be okay? I did. That happened.
I mean, I'm a cat lady, but I can't.
No,
I can't. Puppies are precious too. I can't take that. That's where I kind of have to draw the line right there.
Yeah, it was in that moment you wish John Wick would appear, but you know,
and get some salvation for that pup. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Anything else that you want to say? I feel I've let my feelings out. I feel good now.
I will say on an ending note, you know, I think it's not awful.
No, it's not.
It was entertaining. There were things, I guess, like I enjoyed watching it or like I didn't mind. So, you know, go make your minds up for yourself, see what you think, and come back and let us know.
Yes, definitely, you know, make up your mind for yourself, because I think this movie people will feel different ways about this movie for sure, as we're already seeing. Yeah, so let's go ahead and rate this film. 5 being the max level of hoots, max level of enjoyment. Actually, before I get there, we're about to go there. Hold on. I want one more thing. Again, the critics are acting like this is the best film of the last 10 years. I'm sorry, and some of you will disagree with me on this, and that's fine. This isn't near as good as Project Hail Mary. And Project Hail Mary, in my personal opinion, did flashbacks way better and built up to emotional beats that left me in tears. This movie is kind of filmed in the same way, but it didn't hit in the emotional way that, for me, a Project Hail Mary did hit. So I stand by Project Hail Mary, still number one, best movie of the year thus far. But I just want to throw that out there. But okay, so let's rate the film. 5 being the max level of hoots, max level of enjoyment. Natalie, what are you going to give The Odyssey?
I'm going to give The Odyssey, I was going to say 3.5, but because I think, you know, upon reflection, discussion, and contemplation.
Go with your gut instinct,
I
Natalie.
think that I'm going to have to go with a 3. I was going to give it a 3.5, but I just think, you know, like I said, after all this, I just think things could have been done in certain ways, little ways that could have taken it to the next level of the journey that we were all trying to go on. But I feel 3 is a solid score. What are you going to give it?
I was actually going to give it a 3 out of 5 because, again,
great minds, my friend.
Again, this movie. Now, I had a lot of frustrations that I had to release, but like there also was entertaining
some
parts,
enjoyment to be had,
because this is an interesting story that is being told. So I definitely, that's why it's not at all the worst movie ever, worse than, you know, it's none of that. It just, it was okay. It was, there were some entertaining parts, but it fell short of what I do not believe 10 years down the road we're going to view this as some epic movie. I just don't. I think we just recently watched, and I'll link it below. We reacted to Troy. I enjoyed Troy 1,000 times more than this.
Yes, I did enjoy Troy more.
Yeah. So, and as far as epics, does this compare to Ben-Hur? No. Does this compare to Gladiator? No. I don't know. It was okay. It's all right. It's kind of how we feel. 3 out of 5. It's fine. But it could have been epic.
But it could have been.
It could have been. But we'll never know now.
That's what we unfortunately leave with you.
That's what we have to live with now, Christopher Nolan. But what do you guys?
This is why we can't have nice things.
What do you guys think of the Odyssey? Have you seen it? Are you going to see it? Share your thoughts below, and I'm sure we'll be talking about this more this coming live stream that we're going to have this Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there.
And if you made it to this far in the video, I'd like you to leave the comment down below, just a name, really. Just leave the name Elliot Page.
Okay.
Just so I'll know between me and you that you watched it this far and you're a real one. So thank you in advance.
As the movie tells us, the greatest warrior ever. But what did you guys think of the Odyssey? Share your thoughts below. Are you going to see it? Are you not going to see it? But let us know below. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring the notification bell. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye, guys.